Yo, what's up? What's up? How's everybody's day, man? Let's see. Alright, that should be fun. And give me a second. Bitch. Damn. Alright. So today we just gonna watch some videos. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know anything else we will do because I'm kind of tired. It's my only, well, two of my only days off. Well, actually, I only have tomorrow off from both of my jobs, so yeah, I'm gonna go to work till 6 p.m. So I'm gonna stream for about like 3 4 hours, and then chill and stuff before I gotta go to work. So let's switch this back on and let's go to live scene. There we go. All right, let's see. We'll watch this because they've been officially charged and.
Big mistake canceling me the way they did. And then the second time, the second life, which I described as they try and put you in jail for no reason. Here we are in the current scenario. I knew it was going to happen. And the third one is they put a bullet in your head. So we're going to have to see how the second life plays out. And yeah, I mean, when this is all over and I win the court case and I get the not guilty, I won't be smiling. I'll be walking out the courtroom with my head on a swivel. That's the kind of life I'm living now. I'm going to be thinking, oh, okay, so their second attempt failed. Now what? Like, do I want to fly private anymore? Do I want to go that place anymore? You start to think about these things. Like, do I want to do these things? A lot of billionaires dying in plane crashes. It's strange. It's scary, regardless of how it plays out.
So you see the way he's talking right now. He already knows they're going to court. He's thinking about not guilty versus guilty. It's not even about charges not being laid. They've changed the language. So if you aren't aware, it appears that Andrew Tate's most likely going to get charged with all the crimes that the Romanian government alleges against him. A lot of evidence been coming out, a lot of discussions about stuff, but there's just a lot of stuff that we, the public, are not privy to. Who's involved, what's going on. And yeah, you know, he did an interview with Patrick Bet Davis, which right now is garnering lots of views. People are talking about it, and with him being charged very soon, I think he posted on Twitter that they're expecting him at the police station tomorrow for the charges. With all intents and purposes, who knows? Maybe tomorrow they come around and the Romanian government's like, man, we just fucking around. We're not doing nothing. But it seems like everyone involved knows charges are coming. So, what are your thoughts? I think initially were expecting him not to get charged at all.
I was like, God damn, man. And initially, what I said was, if you're doing all this shit and you don't, you better charge him with doing all this circus. If you're doing all that, you better. Because now you're going to create a martyr. I said that. Remember when I said that?
Sure.
Okay. Then shit was driving, and I was like, man, they're not gonna charge this man. The reason why I said that is because in life, I don't really have a lot of hope for a lot of things. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
This guy always thinks the worst is gonna happen.
Yes. Prepare for the worst. If you prepare for the worst, the best is going to happen. You're prepared for the worst. So if the worst happens,
Man, that's so fucking true. You prepare for the worst, you always have the best outcomes. If you prepare for the best, you always have the worst outcomes. That's just how it goes. You never set your expectations too high, because if you set your expectations too high, something could go wrong, and now you got this, that, and the other to deal with. So yeah, that's very true.
happens, you're like, I prepare for that shit. But then if good shit happens, you're like, hey.
So wait, are you trying to say the best situation is one in which Andrew Tate is charged?
No, I just.
It sounds like that's what you're saying. Are you one of them fucking Matrix bots who's happy?
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're a feminist. Anyways,
yeah,
all that
you
to
happy,
say,
huh?
No, I'm not happy.
You
I don't.
said that's the best situation.
No, what I'm saying is I always prepare for the worst. And if you do all that circus and you don't charge them, that's the worst that's gonna happen.
Gotcha.
Cause then motherfuckers like invincible and stuff like that, and you cannot. And the other, if there's other real charges and everything and stuff that happen, they're not gonna be able to charge him. Now, that's charge him if he actually did something. You understand? Of course, it don't look good, but there's so many cases that I've seen that they don't charge and they're not able to charge and stuff like that, and they drop this and they drop that. So man, I'm just like, man, I just go on the. If something happens, I just straight up go to. They're not gonna charge, and then
They're probably not.
Surprised
Probably
me.
not going to.
like this. I don't exactly know what he did. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, I always thought he was going to get charged. I never really doubted. I think with these kinds of investigations, I think people expect charges to be instantaneous, but that's just not the way police investigations work, especially not ones on this governmental scale. Even look at the FBI. The FBI builds a case for 4 or 5 years before they charge someone.
True.
And when they charge you, best believe they bring the whole fucking roof down. That's why generally governmental charges from like big organizations like the FBI, things like that, always stick, is because they've done a lot of investigating. They've pulled on every thread. And what ends up happening generally with a lot of like criminal organizations, which is what they're alleging criminal Andrew Tate is part of, is that when they pull on one thread, all of a sudden they start finding different threads, and they find like, oh, organized crime, money laundering, tax evasion, whatever it might be. And so that's why, irrespective of how you feel about the investigation, when these things take a long time for charges to be laid, it's not because they don't have a case, which may be the case in this situation. Maybe they don't have a case. Who knows? Like, everyone who's speaking on it doesn't exactly know. But to say it's not credible because it's taken a long time, that's just not the case. That's why they always say here in the States specifically, it's like they bring a RICO charge against you, it's already over because they already got everything they need. They got snitches, they got wiretaps, they got bank transfers, they got phone records, right? They generally do the things the same way. Now, from what I've read up on,
That's
there was
why-
an Iranian newspaper that put out a news report saying like,
That's why when the FBI and the CIA and all the investigative branches of the government, when they can't find somebody or they can't pin something to somebody, it's pretty serious. Like the DB Cooper case, everybody knows about that. They couldn't find who the fuck jumped out that plane forever. Same thing with the Zodiac killer. They could never figure out who the fuck that motherfucker was. Never. And you see how famous these cases is because the FBI, when they have they shit together, they have they shit together. They don't fuck around. They don't fuck around. They do they shit diligently. And when they can't find out something or when they can't get a case through, that's how you know that shit's serious, for real.
there's very strong ties between the Tates and the mafia over there and different organized crime, and the lawyer who's actually prosecuting the case is the top lawyer when it comes to prosecuting organized crime. So do I believe that there's no case? No, I believe that there's some case. Do I believe that Tate is inherently going to be found guilty? Not necessarily. It's very possible that he gets off, and if he does and the courts have found him to be not guilty, then it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, we have a system in place for a reason, and it's supposed to work. And if it goes into it and then it finds I'm not guilty, then everybody gotta just eat down and keep it pushing. You can't just sit there and be like, no, he's definitely 100%. I mean, actually, you can. You can say whatever you want, technically speaking. But you just gotta let the system play itself out. Me personally, I'm not invested. I know some people think like motherfuckers sit at home thinking about Tate every day or whatever, but it's like, if he's found guilty, cool. If he's found not guilty, cool. I think everything should be decided on the merits of the case itself. Now, everyone wants to be an armchair lawyer and say he's 100% this or 100% that. All I know
You don't know.
is from what I've seen from his Hustlers University, which now he wants no ties to, the videos of him talking about his course, teaching how to get girls to be on a webcamming business and how to steal their money and lie to them about how much they're getting paid so you can keep higher profits. He's definitely done some illegal stuff. Now, those aren't the things he's necessarily on trial for.
He's gotta have like
That in
the
past,
best
he's done some
fucking
illegal
lawyer
shit.
in the world to get
Sorry,
get
I
away
don't
with
care
some of
what
this
anybody
shit.
says. I don't care how much you want to simp for the man, how much you hate OnlyFans women or whatever. Any employer who says you getting this cut and then they're taking off a percentage of this by lying to you about what the actual costs are, they're stealing your money. That has always been my biggest contention with this. The rest of it needs to be proven for me to have a real issue with. So that's where I stand on all
I'm
this.
just gonna sit down and watch. I'm gonna sit down and watch. And if the lead attorney is gonna be able to be there and break it down, I'm gonna watch that. I mean, I'm not a lawyer.
Oh
They're not
my
in
goodness.
court. It's not America. Not everything.
I just saw this motherfucker. Oh my god. I just was scrolling through Twitter and I just saw someone get hit. A child just got hit by a motorcycle. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is brutal. Oh my
It's for TV
goodness.
everywhere.
That's not wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all that to say, I'm just gonna sit down and watch what's going on.
Yeah.
The worst
Oh.
thing like that, the worst thing can happen is that if you deny things that is very provable that you did.
How was she alive? What? I just saw that baby get ran over. You know what? God has his ways. I don't know.
If you keep on denying that shit, but that yeah,
I
maybe
don't
that's
know.
your.
I would not admit to that.
I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna watch what's going on, see what's going on, whatever.
Yeah. We'll see what goes down. But yeah, that's what's going on with this case. It's been interesting watching him post indictment or post incarceration and all the above. I don't know if his influence is what it used to be, but it seems like it's still very relevant to some degree online. I can tell that this is going to be one of those court cases that are going to be really big. But I'm just saying, I don't necessarily believe in the Matrix, but Andrew Tate and Donald Trump getting charged at the same time is kind of wild.
Why is it wild?
It's the same timing. The two biggest names on the side of against cancel culture getting charged at the same time. That's crazy. Same day. In two different continents. Across two oceans. You don't see the way the system is working in synchronicity? No? Don't lie. That's kind of crazy. Two of the most influential men. Right? Andrew Tate is one of the most Googled men on the planet with his Bugattis, right? And you got Donald Trump. He trying to be the president to drain the swamp. And they trying to get his ass too. You don't think that's crazy they both get charged at the same time? You don't think there's any... I thought you believed in the worst. You don't think that's the worst?
No.
See? This guy's just a skeptic about everything. He don't believe nothing. He don't think anything's ever going to happen.
Just bring me proof. Oh well, yeah. I'm so bad because I want people to bring me proof. Whoa.
Yeah. He thinks it's all just chance. Andrew Tate, Donald Trump getting charged at exactly the same time across two continents. He thinks it's just a chance.
I'm just saying I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't
don't
know.
believe it. I personally don't believe it.
I don't have.
We seeing it right now in front of us.
I don't have the facts, so I don't know.
I don't know if these guys are guilty.
Yeah, 100%. It's because they trying to.
I think that these guys were trying to deprogram a lot of people, and now the New World Order is making an example out of them by charging at the same time to let anybody know who wants to come afterwards. We'll round up all you fucking naysayers, all you guys are against the machine, and then we'll grind you into the fucking gears and spit you back out faster than you can say, yeehaw. You don't see it. You don't see it. I'm just saying. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Y'all think this is a conspiracy? Do you guys think that all these people getting rounded up together is a random event, or do you think that the leader of young men, like these guys, okay, it's a coincidence that the feminists are coming for? What?
Nothing.
You used to identify as a feminist. Why are you acting like you don't know? You don't think I'd be looking at you sideways like you could be part of the machine? You used to identify as a feminist.
Nigga, you're the machine.
I think you might still be part of it.
I said to him, do you mind if I just speak frankly to you? He said, sure. I said, look, the thing.
Let's see. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? I'm not watching a Destiny video. I don't know. I used to could watch him like all the time, and now I just can't fucking stand his goddamn videos. Excuse me. You didn't hear me just do that. I want to pull Hassan and just start a video, get up and walk away, and then come back like mid-video. I so badly want to do it, but at the same time, I know so many people are going to get mad at me. Or, well, if anybody even watched me in the first place. But, I watch so much fucking Fallout videos. This is kind of sad. I literally started playing Fallout 4 again. And for some reason, yeah, I am. But for some fucking reason, I can't stop watching Fallout videos. Like, one of these is, can you beat Fallout 4 as Sonic the Hedgehog? Like, why the fuck? Why is that even? I need help. Why? Like, just why? Is this nigga crucified? What the fuck? The story. They crucified him. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing, Joey Soap. Joey Soap. I wish I could listen to YouTube, or not YouTube, listen to music on here, but at the same time you can't, because you'll get in so much fucking trouble. Like, you'll get in so much trouble on this bitch. You watch any YouTube videos, anything like that. The Brutality of Smile. That movie is fucking horrifying from what I've seen. Oh my goodness. Nah, wait. The Brutality of Smile.
That one could possibly do. Smile. Gross, can you not? And apparently, that's what director Parker Finn must have thought as well, as he's brought us Smile as his directorial debut. But apparently, his hatred for basic human emotion goes back much further than that, as smiling plays a pretty big part in his two previous short films, The Life Behind and Laura Hasn't Slept, both which clearly share a lot of the details.
Wait a minute! No! Wait, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Wait. Fuck. I get behind that whole. And nah. The fuck is this? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Nah, that was too funny. Oh, that was too funny. There's no fucking. Oh my god, I'm liking that. I'm liking that and retweeting that shit. That's funny as fuck.
Smile, with the very first shot in Hyde.
I fucking can't. My fucking Twitter timeline is something else.
Being the short film that caused Paramount to pick him up to then go ahead and make Smile, which has an incredibly similar feeling. So much, in fact, that you may even view Laura Hasn't Slept as somewhat as a prequel to Smile. But you could also view me as the next PewDiePie, so do with that information what you will. So today we're covering Smile, that movie that promoted itself by sending actors to sporting events and having them make this absolutely terrifying face, while simultaneously traumatizing little children for life as they attend their first baseball game with their
Smile
dad.
is somewhat trash.
The movie begins by showing you what you see when you open up your selfie camera, before the camera then slowly rotates and pans back in a shot incredibly reminiscent of Hide Behind's opening. We see that this lady clearly can't handle her comics and has kinda killed the vibe a bit by going and dying. We see a little girl staring at her mother as she lays dead, before it then cuts ahead as we see the same girl, Rose Carter, now as a woman, as she's a doctor who works in a psychiatric unit. Yeah, that'll do it. We see
I'm gonna
her
pull
completely
Hassan,
newly
and I'm just gonna
identified
fucking
Laura,
dip for like a
the same
minute,
actor from
go
Laura Hasn't Slept,
get
as
heat
she's
up my
seen
food and
something
stuff,
that's
and I'll be right
manifesting
back.
itself as different people after she witnessed her professor bludgeon himself to death. Something that once again could tie this back to the short film. And when she sees this creature, it's always staring at her with a terrifying smile, like James Charles, my sleep paralysis demon. The creature has told Laura that today is the day that she's going to die. She then appears to see the creature in the same room with her and begins to frantically panic and to scream out for help. And in the time that it takes Rose to actually call for help, the creature has already taken control. Rose turns around to see Laura standing there, staring at her with a deranged smile. Laura's holding a piece of pottery that was broken in the panic, and she slowly and methodically cuts it across her neck as she's literally sick to death of hearing Rose talk. And my editor is slowly and methodically censoring this scene because YouTube's literally sick to death of, well, death. Uncensored videos for YouTube members and patrons, wink wink. Understandably, things don't go too great for Rose after this incident. She did just get to see what the inside of someone's neck looks like because it's being carved open by some kind of body-shifting demonic entity, so that's gotta suck a little bit. And in a scene that's very reminiscent of one from Hereditary, she sees what looks to be Laura staring at her in her own kitchen, rightfully confusing Rose as she's supposed to be in the big kitchen, the crematorium. And going back to Parker's earlier work on his short films, the slow panning camera, mixed with the look on Rose's face, is enough to tell you that there's something terribly wrong here. And in those few seconds, as the camera makes its way over there, you're afforded the time to actually build some suspense and to be genuinely freaked out and unsettled by the time it reaches its target. But then you're jump scared by cat food. So there's that. The next day, after the over-enthusiastically happy home invader has left, Rose reads a report that says when Laura witnessed her professor's death, he too was smiling exactly like Laura when she died. And while on the phone to her sister, she looks out of the window to see Laura staring back at her, and by Laura, I mean it could be absolutely anyone, because I need glasses. She then decides to have a little bit of fun and abuse her power on her helpless psychiatric patients as she sees what she thinks is a patient with a deranged smile constantly walking towards her saying that she's going to die. But as the security arrive to restrain the man, he's just chilling in his bed. She's given a paid week off because abusing the patients is hard work and calls for a rest, but when she's home alone later that night, her security alarm goes off, and after resetting said alarm, Rose notices that the back door has been left slightly open when it was definitely closed before. Either her cat Mustache has suddenly grown opposable thumbs, or there's someone in this house who's way too happy about something. The security company then rings her phone, and after talking to the operator for a while, they ask Rose,
"Are you sure you haven't let something inside, Rose?"
which is actually kind of hilarious. Imagine working for one of these companies and then just terrifying people whose house alarms have just gone off. The operator then tells her to look behind her, and as she begins to do so, the phone suddenly rings, and it's back in its original spot with the real security company calling. After having the police sweep the property and finding nothing, and not being able to find the cat, he must have left when he opened the door, her fiancé Trevor arrives home from work, and is starting to seem a little bit concerned for Rose, as she's been acting a bit different. She's dropped 2 separate wine glasses in the exact same spot at this point. She must really hate that one particular part of the floor. Later that night, while listening to an audio recording of her interview with Laura, she hears a whisper on the recording right before being jump scared by her dead mother. And by she's jump scared by her dead mother, I mean I'm jump scared by her dead mother. In a scare that was completely predictable if you've watched any horror movies in the past 10 years. She leans in to listen to the recording. The volume seems to go up. She's intensely trying to listen to what the whisper says. Then bam, dead mum juice is all over you. She then visits her nephew's birthday
Alright, I'm
party,
back.
still kinda stinking like dead mum, and gives him his birthday gift, a toy train that she bought the previous day.
I know
As he
nobody
opens
wants to
the
watch this
box,
shit,
he
so
talks them in-
I'm changing it. I'ma double it. Oh, well. No, I don't really give a fuck about Smile. SpongeBob. Da-na-na-na. Excuse me. I don't know why people are talking shit about The Flash. I mean, I know the CGI was god fucking awful, but it honestly wasn't that bad. Like, it was a
Hello,
good ass
guys and
movie.
Gals, me Mudahar. Today we're having a
Hey,
holy
Mudahar.
sermon. Today, will you go to? Will you be denied the kingdom of heaven if you stream on Kick? That's the actual
Yes.
discussion we've been having. Now, for the entire day today, I was out and I was just scrolling through the old social medias and seeing what.
Don't stream on Kick or Twitch. Stream on YouTube.
My peers were up to. And I pretty much had to read an entire war between XQC and Pokemon and a few streamers and content creators about streaming over on Kick. Now, in a clip that Pokemon made, which I'm not going to play, I mean, generally I think the quote works really well. Why would I compromise my morals and ethics for more money when I have money? Which came out to the fact that Kick has given out these mega $1 million deals. And obviously, Pokemon, like a lot of other streamers on Twitch, believe that these money deals are coming from stake, obviously, where a lot of the users who are taking these deals are contributing to gambling addictions. So I want to talk about just the nuance, but I want to give you a bit of history. The reason why this topic is so important to me is because I've had two people in my life that have gambling addictions. And it ruins a life. You know, let me tell you, it's not the financial problems. It's the fact that the people around you have to suffer through your financial issues if they're dependent on you. You know, two people that, you know, would come up to you at any given moment and be like, hey, I need money, I need some money, I need some money. It would be a constant, you know, thing that I would hear. And when I knew where the money was going to, because gambling addictions are like any addictions, they put their hooks into you and getting out of it is very difficult. To me, I think all addictions are bad. Pornography addictions, alcohol addictions, drug addictions, gambling addictions. If you have any addiction, you need to go seek help. Gambling addiction is so serious that plenty of governments and agencies have like self-exclusionary lists partnering with official casinos where they will not allow you to play whatsoever if you are on a list. It's that bad. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to get started with just how this goes. So obviously Twitch is owned by Amazon and Kick is owned by Stake. Stake is a online unregulated, or well, crypto casino. They have regulations in certain territories, but the reason why some people say it's unregulated is because of its crypto tie-in. So to understand, the way that I've always seen online crypto casinos is usually when it came to, you know, any person advertising this to their fan base, some of them would be under 18. Now, using some of these websites, you create an account, they give you a deposit, you know, crypto address. You can send money into that crypto address, it gets credited onto the account. You can play slots, gamble, and they don't check that you're 18. Some of them don't. I don't know if things have changed dramatically now, but when it came to cashing out the winnings, oh boy, they would be like any bank in America or Canada. They would check for every piece of paperwork for you to cash out. So for me, that was the really weird part. When I go to a, you know, legal casino, they check for my driver's license and they make sure that I'm wiring money from my bank account. There are a lot of steps that a legal casino, you know, one that's regulated under the state, goes through to make sure that users are 18 plus. Same with sports betting or whatever. Now, that's pretty much the distinction. If a lot of these casinos were regulated, completely legal, and they did their checks to a T, the same checks that I would be getting at any bank or financial institution, I wouldn't really have a problem. Because at the end of the day, gambling, as much as I have an issue with it, it's a choice you as an adult make, right? Like, at the end of the day, if you want to ruin your life or enhance it, that's on you, dog. I don't care. I live my life, you live yours. That's the kind of mentality that I work with, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the morality situation over here, Kick has been handing out millions and millions of dollars to various streamers. And I can definitely sense some green eyeshadow when it comes to certain streamers because, yeah, that's a lot of money that I guess anybody would wish they would have. Who doesn't want to have $50 million extra in their account, $100 million? If you say that you don't, I think there's a hint of lies behind that, okay? And of course, at some point, having, you know, enough money, in my opinion, is enough money. You know, for me, I can retire and live comfortably. But for some people, obviously having more and more and more, that's just how they operate. Now, where the morality comes into is obviously taking money from a site like Stake means that you're taking money from gambling addicts and also you're contributing back into gambling. So there's a pretty simple like moral check about this too. When you look at Kick.com, there really isn't any branding to Stake. Yes, the most popular category by far is the slots and casinos on average. And a lot of those people over there are streaming on websites that would not be allowed on Twitch. Now, on average, if you go to Twitch, there's actually more gamblers, but I guess they're gambling on the legal sites, which I think is a pretty decent distinction. I think, hey, any site that requires its user bases to have 18 plus checks constantly, that's okay. I usually find it really hazy when a website isn't checking that as much, because then kids easily slip into, and that's really the problem. When you're over 18, you'll fuck up your life however you want, don't give a shit. Now, the entire idea of ethical consumption is so funny to me. So to say that streaming on Kick is bad because they're owned by Stake, when Amazon themselves is one of the more evil companies in the world. You know, a company where employees have been reported to be pissing in bottles. Amazon themselves hates the word union so fucking much that I swear to God, I don't know if this is entirely true, but I laughed at the fact that I think even the Twitch CEO had the word union like muted on their actual screens. I'll edit that in if I can. This is an entire company that has the moral fiber of like, you know, just hell, okay? It's not a good company, period. Now, one could argue that the direct harm from Stake gambling is maybe more worse, but to me, I think that both sides are just evils with a different shade attached to it. So when it comes to Stake, obviously they're able to afford offering multi-million-dollar deals because the casino industry is billions of dollars, okay? It's a very, very large industry. Now, obviously, Kick is offering 95-5 splits, which pretty much shows that they're not really making a lot of money on their website. They're actually dumping a lot of money, too. I actually said this a few days ago in a video that because of the amount of money that they're spending, any federal agency, if they didn't have their red flares in the air right now, they absolutely do at this moment in time. Now, to me, when I see a streamer get a deal for on Kick for streaming, I think what really separates it and what really should deconstruct this moral argument is that streamer also gambling? Because if the streamer gets paid $50 million to play Call of Duty Warzone and not gamble, is that really immoral? At the end of the day, they signed up to a website. They're not promoting gambling. They're not pushing the people watching their content to go look at a gambling stream. Hell, if you go to Kick right now, there literally isn't any gambling ad or anything on their site. And I believe gambling is an 18-plus topic, which, in my opinion, gambling should be as 18-plus as pornography. But that's just my hot take, okay? Feel free to disagree. So any streamer that's getting paid money to play a video game or watch movies or television shows but not directly sending people in to gamble, in my opinion, is just as moral as streaming on Twitch. None of these deals so far, at least the big ones, have ever shown that a streamer needs to be gambling at any given hour to also like subsidize their deal. No, that doesn't appear to be the case. Now, obviously on Amazon, you know,
She still
people
goes
stream,
to
play
CHS.
gameplay on their website without ever pushing Amazon's principles. I think at the end of the day, the moral argument should literally be taken with 2 extra steps, okay? You should A, look at if these websites are promoting
boyfriend.
unregulated versus regulated websites, and 2, if the streamer in question is also fucking gambling. If the streamer isn't, then is it really immoral to be streaming on Amazon's platform or Stake's platform? At the end of the day, if we're looking at the evils of both sides, congratulations, guys. Both are fucking evil. One of them promotes gambling, which is a very addictive vice, and the other one hates the working class. So in my opinion, both of them are fucking evil, okay? That's just how it works. See, that's the level of nuance you need to look at these situations. Now, the other scenario when it comes to something like Stake, something like these casinos, obviously they're dumping a lot of money into it. The best thing for anybody who thinks that Stake is in the wrong is to actually get people to just stream general gameplay over on Kick. I would absolutely love to see Kick survive and thrive and have more people streaming regular gameplay and personalities versus gambling. Because then it would really prove to me that this website is literally just thriving on its own versus using itself as a funnel for advertising gambling, which is what I kind of perceive. Obviously, if the site has 90% of users and streamers that are watching gameplay and watching random like content versus like 10% of people who are just strictly promoting gambling, that could be absolutely terrible for something like Kick and Stake if it's, you know, again, not truly profitable on its own. That's just kind of where I sit into, all right? I want to see if this website can survive, if more people stream on it for regular generic stuff versus the hyper-focused gambling websites. That would be an interesting focus for me. Now, at the end of the day, the ethical streaming angle, like, should a streamer be punished, or like, ethically, should be like ethically punished in a way for streaming on Twitch versus Kick? I don't even think that's a factor. Regardless of what streaming platform you go to, Google, Amazon, Stake, well, the parent companies in this case, they all have a level of evil that I think is pretty equatable to one another, except just in different shades. Now, that being said, I personally don't like the gambling aspect. I actually don't even like legal gambling services either. There have been plenty of times that we've been offered advertising for legal gambling services like sports betting and whatnot, and I've denied all of it simply because I don't think I could live with myself. My mom and dad couldn't look at me if I took $1 of Gamba money. That's just where I personally stand in the situation. But if you're a streamer, all right, feel free to stream on Kick and Twitch. Don't let any fucking person on the internet tell you what's morally right or wrong, which platform is okay or it isn't. Because at the end of the day, if we're talking about ethical consumption, there is no ethical consumption under the system that we're in. That's just a matter of fact. Now, of course, when it comes to gambling services, I also want to add on the fact that I don't work with these platforms simply because when I look at the casino industry as a whole, I look at it as a front for money laundering for criminal organizations. So me, I have a moral compass on that, but that's pretty much what it comes down to. But if we're talking about streaming on their tertiary platforms like Kick, Twitch, and YouTube, I think that's an okay regardless of where you go. As long as you're not promoting that vice, you really shouldn't be thrown into the ethics and moral debate like an actual gambling streamer normally would be. I don't think by streaming PUBG gameplay, God, that's a fucking throwback, on Kick, without ever promoting things like gambling whatsoever, should immediately put you in the immoral class, especially when the website, as of now, Kick, has no real stake branding attached to it, which could change like 5-6 months down the road. Who knows? But for now, I don't think that there should be this great ethical and moral debate. I think any streamer pushing it is really just morally grandstanding right now. And that's pretty much where I stand. If I burn bridges by saying this, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I don't really care. This channel is like a diary to me. And sometimes when I read discourses like this, I want to provide my take because sometimes I have a personal stake in the situation. I have actual insight to offer because I've covered crypto casinos in the past. I've covered this topic extensively. I've researched it extensively. I've lost sleep over this.
Another point that also comes to my mind is the viewer experience. Generally, if these streaming contracts are handled out or given, then I think it's just I think it's better than requesting donations or ads necessarily from streamers. That is, of course, if streamers don't choose to triple dip into it. I think taking that burden of monetization away from the crowd is ultimately a net benefit. You get a stream that should hopefully be filled with less advertisement or sponsorships, if anything, since the streamer has already gotten their money covered. But that's just something that came to my head. Don't really see it coming out this way. And I think just to finalize it, obviously there is a heavy gambling focus on Kick. I'm not going to deny that. That's pretty much the most popular category. But it would be interesting to see how the site can survive as if somehow that ratio goes more into the favor of general streamer, and how long the site could actually bear the burden of generally hosting live streaming material without new gambling addictions being formed because nobody's promoting more gambling. Will the site just suddenly start to promote stake? That would be an interesting turn of events. And for people wondering too, the site allows banned streamers or kind of extremist figures on its platform. I think the more popular the site's going to get, just like YouTube and Twitch, it's going to start heavily moderating itself too. Because if it doesn't, it faces the fact that it could absolutely be hit on by it could actually be pressured by advertisers, or both iOS and Google can remove it from their respective stores if they choose to have completely unmoderated content. Anyways, that's a situation that I think will correct itself over time. Anyways, as a platform develops more popularity. So yeah, I wanted to talk about it because I have a personal attachment to it. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I actually do want to hear about the myriad of discourse we have in our own community. But anyways, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.
Alrighty. Nope. I already watched too many Fallout videos as is, and I'm not about to make myself watch anymore. Let's see. Naked Predator or let's see, Naked Predator or the submarine that went missing in the near the Titanic, or it was found but the bitch just exploded and in like a million fucking pieces. So yeah. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe. If he hollers, let him go. My mama told me to pick the very best one. You are it. Oh, submarine. Woo!
Me, Mutahar, and today
Titanic
we're
took
looking
5
at a
more.
submarine that apparently went missing in the last day, ladies and gentlemen. It's a submarine. It's a situation that's happening live as we speak. A situation where a few people have been trapped so far underwater to the depths of the Titanic ruins, where they unfortunately don't actually have any ability to contact anybody because they're so far near the bottom of the ocean. And it's to a point where the oxygen supply on their hull is obviously dwindling out. It's a really, really scary situation, and it's one that's left me completely interested into how it's happened. So let's get started with exactly where we begin here. Now, if you follow the United States Coast Guard, you probably have seen the press release for the establishment of the Unified Command for the 21-foot submersible Titan 900 miles east of Cape Cod. So yeah, this is a rescue mission going on for a submarine where the Canadians and the Americans are working together to make sure a couple billionaires and rich people are safe from a absolutely stupid trek into the bottom of the ocean that they took. Now, where was this trek to? Obviously, the Titanic. I don't think I have to describe the Titanic on my channel. It's a pretty famous story of a ship that absolutely sunk to the bottom of the ocean. One of the big failures, I guess you could say, of nautical exploration. But ladies and gentlemen, if you wanted to learn about the Titanic, Google is a great resource for you. So of course, the US Coast Guard put this information out there, said the Canadian Coast Guard, bunch of assets are en route to help save the people at the bottom of the ocean right now. You can even see they got like search patterns over here. Again, I'm not a Coast Guard expert. This is the pattern they believe is fit for exploration and recovery. And I'm gonna believe what the US Coast Guard says. They're professionals when it comes to this stuff. Now, the cause of this was a private company known as OceanGate Expeditions. Now, OceanGate Expeditions is a website that I really can't explore anymore right now. Like, trying to enter it is just literally, it's not even an accessible website. So thank God for things like the Wayback Machine, where we can actually see what they're about. Join the Titanic Expedition. Explore the world's most famous shipwreck. Limited space available. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's probably a super expensive trip. 95% of the Earth's ocean is unexplored. You can change that. That's actually a true statement. We actually don't know much about the seas, the depths of the sea, just like we don't know much about the stars. It's a wild world that we get into. See, going into the bottom of the ocean requires us to have vessels that can withstand the immense pressure of water at that depth, okay? It's not entirely easy. If you don't have a submarine capable of that, your submarine collapses in of itself and you die very, very quickly, very painfully, I would say. So expedition highlights over here, they've got, people going down, recording with their iPhones. Upcoming expeditions, so the Azores expedition where they explore hydrothermal vents. Awesome, 3 days. And of course, they've even got that classic feedback. OceanGate Expeditions make you feel like a full member of the crew, and the experience allows you to participate in every aspect of the expedition. Okay, that's great. Now, Stockton Rush, who I believe is also on the entire tour as well, at the moment he's also missing on his own ship. This person believes in their product so much that they joined down in the expedition, and unfortunately they're also lost in the situation as well. Now, they actually end up charging $250,000 per person. Yes, it's a very unusual business. This kind of a trip is very much relegated to multimillionaires, billionaires, who want to see the Titanic so far up close because, again, these are very, very rare things that only the hyper-rich and the elite can absolutely afford. Now, of course, you would imagine for a price tag like that, the security on such a ship would be immense. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dig up even deeper. Now, some people who've been following this have probably heard the fact that the Titan is an only 5-person sub in the world that can reach the Titanic depths, 2.4 miles below the sea, and it's also the only one with a toilet. God, I hope that actually exports out into the sea. I really hope people don't have to deal with these septic issues, especially if they're, unfortunately, in the case of almost dying in this situation. Now, yet, I can't help notice how many pieces of this sub seem improvised. That's not something you want to hear. With off-the-shelf components, piloting the craft is run with a video game controller. Yeah, you might have heard that. Oh no, they're using a video game controller to pilot such an elite ship. Actually, I got a video for you too. Right here, we can actually see them showcasing the inside of this Titan submarine. So this is it. Like, this is for 5 people. Obviously, it's got some carbon fiber heading around in the hull. It's got some windows to look out of. And of course, if we look inside, you've got some computers for understanding these ship systems, and also connected to, I assume, cameras outside the ship, so you can get a better idea of this Titanic that you're actually going to go see. That, not even kidding, is the fucking controller used to pilot this submarine. Now, of course, for any astute person, this is a Logitech F710 wireless gamepad. Now, you might be like, why would somebody use a wireless gamepad? Why the fuck would you bring a Bluetooth gamepad to the mix? Especially when, if you're going to be using a game controller in a submarine, it should probably be wired. You might be like, but Muda, why would you even use a game controller in the first place? And ladies and gentlemen, to understand, this is not something that's like super rare. To understand, even people that are in the military tell you that military sources around the world cite the same reason. Younger recruits are infinitely familiar with the user interface and ergonomics of a video game controller. And because Microsoft owns the Xbox brand, Xbox controllers are compatible with a variety of computer operating systems such as Windows. So in a way, a lot of things that are piloted, like drones, UAVs, robots, some of them will have like fully functional controls with Xbox, or game controllers. And the reality for that is, again, it's a lot simpler to use. Imagine when you're playing a video game and you're like, damn, I wonder if this is what controlling like an actual like anti-tank robot or anti-diffuse robot is like. That's probably reality in some cases. Using a game controller is not super duper weird. However, the problem with this situation is using a fucking wireless one, it seems. Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you're at such depths, radio communications, Bluetooth communications can be finicky. You know what isn't finicky? A wire connected between the controller and the actual system. That will never waver, okay? And if the wire fucks up, then you can just interchange it with another wire. Controller messes up, you can use a different controller. But again, this is just one of the problems that the actual submarine had. From what I understand too, the crew closes the hatch from the outside 17 bolts. So people who are inside the submarine get bolted in, which I don't know if this is necessarily the smart thing to do. From what I understand, water pressure alone should prevent you from even opening a submarine hatch underwater. I don't know why you necessarily need to bolt it in, but then again, this is a pretty massive depth that they're going. So maybe I'm wrong in this case. Any submersible experts can correct me in the comment section below. Now, this isn't the only time they've done this expedition. They've done it a few times, but unfortunately in this case, it seems like for the price tag, like I mentioned earlier, there were no safety redundancies, no form of beacons that would release that would just float all the way to the top to signify to some of the rescue personnel where the submarine would have been. No forms of dye, no nothing. Literally, they sent this submarine down, and eventually, when it lost contact with the surface motherships, that is when like the red alert kicked off. And trying to find this thing has become a game of literally finding a needle in the world's largest haystack, the goddamn ocean. Okay. Again, it's baffling to me looking at this from again, I'm not like a nautical engineer or anything, but like literally looking at how this was designed, I can't imagine how they were ever given the clearance to even run this business in the first place. Looking into even their blog posts at OceanGate, literally I was looking into how the classification for the ship happened, and this is all the way back in 2019, so things could have obviously changed, but they were talking about how they weren't even classed at a point. So when OceanGate founded, the goal was to pursue the highest reasonable level of innovation in the design and operation of manned submersibles. By definition, innovation is outside of an already accepted system. However, this does not mean that OceanGate doesn't meet standards where they apply, but it does mean that innovation often falls outside of the existing industry paradigm. While classing agencies are willing to pursue the certification of new and innovative designs and ideas, they often have a multi-year approval cycle due to the lack of pre-existing standards. You know why that is? Because when you're designing such experimental technology, you need to put it through the ringer quite literally to make sure nothing fucks up. And if things do mess up,
Oh shit!
you have
Hey, how you
contingencies
doing?
on top of contingencies.
I literally was
Because at
just,
this point, you're
I'm
playing
literally just
blind,
looking at
you know?
Instagram while
When
this
you're
video is
designing
playing.
vehicles, especially like vehicles
My
that
bad,
serve
my bad.
humanities,
Oh, the chat, literally I have the chat like right
dangerous
beside me.
environments
What's
at
up,
the
man?
bottom
How
of
you
the
doing?
Ocean, the Marianas Trench, which is another very dangerous environment.
Okay, how many
where
times you gonna put
materials
read
for
the
ship
chat
needs
before
to
I
meet
see it?
standards on top of standards. That's just how it works. Anybody that thinks you don't need to do that, or that's just the government being annoying, you don't understand the amount of safety that's actually being like exhibited when the government pushes for those kind of regulations. What's really like sad about this is when it came to like regulations, it seems like the CEO was pretty dismissive of this shit too. As according to an interview that he actually was part of, listen to
You
this one,
spam read the chat like
OceanGate's
100
director of marine
times.
operations, David
I'm
Lockridge,
definitely
started
reading
working
the
on a
chat.
around the time, according to court.
No, this video is starting to get boring. I kind of wanted to watch like memes and shit of the fucking submarine, cause that's kind of like most of the memes surrounding the submarine sinking is fucking hilarious. Hilarious. Let's see. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I like 2 more hours of streaming before I go take a fucking. I ain't gonna go to sleep. I'm just gonna watch YouTube or something on the TV. Or actually, I need to watch the Black Clover movie. I haven't watched that yet. So wait, let me see. Let me pull it up on Netflix. See if I got it. Where's it at? Oh shit, it's right there. His face looks fucking. Oh, Extraction 2's out? Oh yeah, nah. They got the 85 South show on Netflix? Dude, yes. Yeah, look. They got the 85 South show. They've got the new Black Clover movie. They've got Extraction 2. And let's see. I'm probably not gonna ever watch The Flash again after they ruin the fucking finale. So I don't even want to watch it no more. I'm definitely gonna watch it probably today or tomorrow because I'm off all tomorrow, but today I gotta work tonight. Let's see. I need to watch The Walking Dead and I need to watch Better Call Saul, and then I need to finish where is it at? I need to finish Breaking Bad. I'm only on season 2 of Breaking Bad. But besides that, let's see if we can watch what we're gonna watch. Cause I can't watch Netflix on here, or I will straight up get some shit brought on me. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm gonna get around to it. I just haven't what's it called? You know, I'll get around to it. All right, so I'm about to just unfollow a shit ton of people on Instagram because there's no reason for me to even follow some of these people. What game is that? Breaking. Actual breaks. Alright. Let me stop looking at Instagram for like 5 seconds and actually find something to watch. Fake chemo. What? Who the fuck fakes chemo?
This person did something horrible, as you can tell by all of these headlines that I've conveniently blurred out. It's a TikToker, a bad person that got in a lot of trouble. Consequences were real in this story, guys. What exactly did they do? Well, they got cancer. Just kidding. They f***ing lied about it. How is it possible to go to jail for lying about cancer? Well, cancer is a horrible
I'm not
disease
watching
that will affect 1
11
to 2 people over their lifetime.
11 hour, 11 minute,
Everyone
11
knows
second
someone
video.
who's been affected in some way by cancer. It's terrible. There's no joking about it. There's a lot of humor, actually. I take that back. But generally, it's a very serious thing. A disease that in most forms have no true cure and crushes families on a consistent and daily basis. Treatment for cancer is very expensive, and most people can't afford it without, really good insurance. Now, if you use the internet to, let's say, leverage your position to get money to pay for your cancer that you have, but let's say you don't actually have that
What is he
cancer,
setting
you're
on
just using
fire?
it to just
Wait a
get
minute, what?
a lot of money and you lie about having cancer? Well, that's what this did. Madison Russo was a TikTok influencer. Okay, and I say was, she's not dead, but she is no longer an influencer. She said that she had pancreatic cancer and was suffering from it every day. Pancreatic cancer is a very severe form of cancer. Generally speaking, pancreatic cancer is one of the worst. And it's also one that is rarely found until late stage. Not to mention, it's deadly. It doesn't respond as well to treatment compared to other cancers. It's all around just a bad thing. At age 19, Madison tugged at the heartstrings of her viewers. She was in the very early and
Oh yeah, Gideon and fucking EDP. EDP 445. I meant to fucking watch this shit. It's a full ass interview, right? Wait. Can they just not like condense this shit down? Is there no sound? I don't want to watch that long of a video and it'd be Skyrim of all things.
That shit's kind of peaking. Yo, what's good with everybody, man? Hope you guys having a blessed day, man. Oh, whoa. We got 5K overall run. So, I don't know if you heard, but the whole time we were having this conversation with EDP, never once said anything about payment. Then, now that the interview's going, I guess he maybe saw the numbers or something like that. He lets everybody know I'm not coming on that shit unless I get paid.
Once he gets paid?
Yeah, he said he's not coming on this shit unless he gets paid.
Wow. So are you gonna pay him?
Yeah, man. Everybody came out and showed out. I don't want to be a party pooper.
Let's see. Did he come in?
I'd say there's probably like literally a 1% chance. Just fucking twiddle our thumbs, bro. Just pay the guy. Or not. If not, then we could go move on and Gideon can go do something else.
Okay. Yeah, that is what's gonna happen. So why don't I send you the $200, Gideon, because my cash app's not working, and then you pay. So it's just the transaction fee on Cash App. That's the only thing you're paying.
Here, this is the only way. If the guy that set it all up, if he pays it, but I'm not paying him back, but if he pays it, that's the only way we're doing this.
Alright, that's fair.
Yeah, nah, that's a scam. Oh, nah, this nigga just sat around and did nothing for hours. And thank you for subscribing. That's fucking wild. Oh, that's an hour and a half just to get no fucking EDP at all. That's wild.
Have to be about that one instance. You feel me? We will get to that. Don't get me wrong, but it does not have to be all about that, especially for the build-up. So next person.
Okay, let's skip all the way to when he gets stressed.
Yo, what's up, Try Man? How you doing?
Why? Well, you ate a giant bowl of cereal. And you didn't offer me any? That's fucked, man. That's kind of fucked up right there. Like, I just see how caring and nice you are not. So that's kind of fucked. Why is this shit was
Yes.
yeah.
Twitch, or as I like to call it for the last few years, baby's first campsite. The top dog for streaming for many years. Twitch is now known for being so biased it makes CNN and Fox News cry for transparency. Lest we forget, Twitch itself banned me for 7 days for being canceled by Pokimane. And the funny thing was, I had not streamed on the platform for like 2 or 3 months. How do you get banned on Twitch if you haven't been on?
Don't ask questions.
But a woman having sex on camera with her boyfriend, whose dick was so small it can be best described as microscopic, was banned for a single day.
That's
It
fucked.
makes a lot of sense if you don't think about it. But the world is changing. With Kick, YouTube, and Rumble,
I don't even have.
Twitch is now
I don't have
implementing
Fortnite downloaded.
some of the boldest marketing strategies ever to combat.
I used to play it a lot, but then I stopped playing it completely.
99% of its user base. It's gross. It's for this. The trickle down effect. We call it rolling downhill, and you're at the bottom. But hey, as long as Pokimane's happy, to hell with the rest of the 99%. Am I right? In September of 2022, Twitch decided to change the revenue split for top streamers from 70-30 to 50-50. Smaller streamers on Twitch were hoping that the site did give them the 70-30 split because they made much less money. Well, Twitch replied by saying, "You go to hell! You go to hell and you die!" On June 6th of 2023, the greed reached massive level. They took a playbook out of Adobe Premiere. When you leave, there's a $25 fee.
If you or we terminate this agreement, a maintenance fee will be deducted from your remaining balance. The maintenance fee will be the lesser of incurred programming fees for your Twitch channel, or $25. Any remaining balance of the deduction of the maintenance fee will be paid to you. Notwithstanding the foregoing, if you became a sanctioned person, Twitch will withhold any programming fees otherwise due to you and take any other action required
At some point, I'll download it, but right now I don't feel like doing that shit.
What?
Dear ladies and gentlemen, we come to the part of the program which is always my favorite because it
Oh, that's so fucking creepy. How is she? What the fuck? Nah, that's creepy as shit. She's like, she's doing this shit and talking. Oh, that's so fucking creepy. Oh my god.
The Galaxy Lamps projector will light up any room with countless rotating stars and colorful nebula. It's integrated with Smart Galaxy Lamps app that lets you fully customize its colors, adjust rotation speed and brightness. You can also, isn't it funny how you used to just stream on a stupid site? Now you need to be a low-level lawyer. You need Legal Eagle to explain to you just what the hell they're talking about, and at the long end of the short of it, you're gonna pay them one way or another. I guess the 50% they took off the top just wasn't enough. And the funny thing is, what about people who don't generate that much money?
Makeup.
Ziltech streams on Twitch, and I think he makes $25 a month. If they pay him, they just take his whole $25.
Smash,
He doesn't stream
yes.
that much. Does he, like,
100%.
But anyway, if you leave the program, it's a $25 fee. You get suspended or banned, $25 fee. What the holy hell is this anyway? Someone thought this up, and a team of people looked it over, including lawyers. They all said, yes, nothing could go wrong with this, and posted it online. Twitch is killing its own platform by nickeling, diming its users that make next to no money. This is honestly a move out of the Dark Side Phil playbook.
I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct.
Here's a look at what is no longer allowed on Twitch in light of its new branding content guidelines. Logos on stream, brand overlays are limited 3% of the screen. Insert burned-in video ads. Streamers may not insert.
Dude, they are fucking Twitch people. They fucking people who stream on Twitch over. Big time. Big time, big time.
Streamers may not insert display or banner ads directly into their streams. Streamers may not insert audio ads directly into their streams.
Looks like you can't make money on the side, which frankly, if it's anything like YouTube, a lot of people make more money from their sponsors than they do from Twitch itself. So doing this is the ultimate dick move. Why don't you just Twitch and drop?
Man, we all know the answer to this. Ice Spice or the baby? We all know the answer to this. We all know the answer to this. Ice Spice, bitch. What you think this is? Fuck. Yeah, I'm a munch all day. What you talking about?
Please don't yell at those girls rolling around in bathtubs. They do the important work. This move is so stupid, you'd think it was a bit from Office Space. In retaliation to this tone-deaf move, bigger streamers call for a boycott of Twitch. It's kind of interesting. You know, UPS, hardworking people are boycotting because they're underpaid. And multi-millionaires are upset and they're like, we're gonna boycott too. Aspergold threatened to stream on another site. I'm gonna stream elsewhere, but I'll still come here sometimes and stream. Mr. Beast hinted at streaming on Kick, and Elon Musk tweeted about possibly making Twitter a viable streaming platform to take on Twitch. It wasn't a very good day.
What the fuck?
Everyone showed up to kick them right in the sweetness after they finished kicking everyone else in the sweetness. Like all other social media platforms drunk on power thinking that they're completely and utterly untouchable, they fold like a stack of cards under the slightest bit of pressure. Vive la résistance. Death to the aristos.
Honestly, Ice Spice, the only thing she got going for her is her looks and like 2 good songs. And then the baby, all he got is good songs. That motherfucker's just weird. I don't know. He used to be cool as fuck when he first came out, when he was first popping off. Now he's just fucking weird. Just fucking weird and just repetitive as fuck.
Eat the rich.
Today's branded content policy update was overly broad. This created confusion and frustration, and we apologize for that. We do not intend to limit streamers' ability to enter into direct relationships with sponsors, and we understand that this is an important part of how streamers earn revenue. We wanted to clarify our existing ads policy that was intended to prohibit third-party ad networks from selling burned-in videos and display on ad Twitch, which is consistent with other services. This missed the mark with the policy language and will rewrite the guidelines.
So yeah, Twitter will die if this starts fucking streaming. Dude, no, Twitter will never die. Twitter's like that one cockroach in a nuclear explosion.
It was a language that was alarming and backwards, not the policies you were set to put in place. And I have a feeling that if nobody pushed back on this, Twitch would have been like, haha, this is for the betterment of everyone else because we care so much about you. Oh my god. We care so much that we want to charge you money for leaving. Frankly, if I was Twitch, I'd be worried. From what I can tell, a lot of Twitch dots have been moving to Kick because it allows them way more freedom to sell on. Just when you think you're done editing your daily cringe, Twitch does something else stupid. A Twitch staff member goes into Tedward's chat, a popular streamer / YouTuber that gives tips on streaming, and they proceeded to tell him that he was wrong, but he was also not wrong, while also being wrong. As I've said many times before, all of this makes sense if you do not think about it.
I love you, but I would also love to talk to you one-on-one one time. The but is that I think you have a lot of good ideas, but you're missing so much. No is saying you're wrong about anything. Maybe, is that no one? Is that a typo? No one's saying you're wrong about anything. You just have so many assumptions that are way off. No one's saying you're wrong about anything. You just have so many assumptions that are wrong. I don't understand those 2 sentences going side by side. I mean, I love you guys over Twitch.
Twitter is literally a fucking rat. Is that one cockroach in a nuclear explosion? Twitter will never fucking die. No matter how, it's like, Twitter is just literally a place where you just talk the most amount of shit about stuff you are not right about.
Not saying you're wrong, but then a minute and a half ago you said you just have so many assumptions that are way off. I have a chat history. We saw that you said that. And again, it's fine. Like, I'm trying to drop the conversation. It's just weird that now you're like hijacking my chat and making this weird. You cannot ban staff. Ain't that a bitch? Oh my god.
Ain't that a bitch?
Of course I tried to ban you. Anybody would get banned for doing what you're doing right now. This is so weird.
I have to admit, I give a damn, bro. It's just a
What the
crappy
fuck?
media platform, going ever further into the orb.
That's the thing now, never get me, is how fucking bug spray can kill a cockroach, but a fucking nuclear explosion can't. How does that make any sense? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how the fuck that even remotely makes sense. Huh? Okay, well, I just tried to read that and that was very fucking confusing. Get in a nuclear bunker, drop a nuke on the cockroach. The cockroach survives. Come out with 2 bottles of bug spray. Just spray that bitch. Fucking. God damn. I feel so bad for Jonathan Majors because that nigga didn't do nothing. And he's just getting dogged out for no reason. He got fired from fucking Marvel. Everything like that. The best fucking actor in Marvel gets fired. Like, bruh. Your only saving grace in the entire fucking Marvel fucking cast list gets fired because somebody accuses him of some shit that he didn't do. Like, fucking wild. Cockroach armor for real though.
Join me on a little adventure for a moment, because I'd like to talk about dreams. Not as like a psychologist or anything. I'm not about to hold up Rorschachs and ask you what you see in the ink blots and try and tie it to like some trauma from when your high school bully put your head in the toilet and flushed it. I want to talk about dream jobs specifically. Because 20 years ago, if you asked a child what their dream job is, you'd probably get some silly things like a professional ice cream tester, getting paid to try different ice cream flavors.
No, neither the explosion or the radiation will kill the cockroach.
But now, if you ask...
Because when it's a nuclear explosion, it's not like a boom. No, it's a heat wave, and it comes with a gust of air, of course, like a powerful gust of air that's able to like destroy buildings and shit. But it's a powerful heat wave, enough that it can straight up incinerate somebody to like straight ashes instantly. Unless you're far enough away, then it might just burn the fuck out of you.
Ask pretty much any kid in the world what their dream job is.
And even if you survive the like 4th degree burns or 3rd degree burns, you'll just die of radiation poisoning.
All of them will probably give you the same answer. YouTuber. Or more broadly, online content creator, so streamer, YouTuber, things like that. And it's a dream job for more than just children, obviously. There are people of all ages that very much want some kind of online presence as a career, and it's just become a very sought after occupation. There are more people hunting after an online career than there were assassins hunting after John Wick. And the reason I mention this is because there's recently been a rise in the frequency of large content creators expressing burnout, as well as just being completely miserable by the content creation grind, needing to take long breaks, or just outright announcing that they're quitting altogether. And In fact, that's what we're talking about today. That's the subject that I want to go over because Tfue just made a very heartfelt video saying goodbye to his audience, talking about how all the decade-plus long grind he's been embarked on has kind of made him feel like his life is slipped away from him. He doesn't regret any of his choices, but he recognized that he spent the majority of his life just behind a computer screen and wants to really finally feel free to live the life that he feels will be the happiest for him. So he made this video, which is kind of like the ending credits to like a franchise finale, where it just goes over the, you know, best of moments throughout his life online. And he says that he's kind of just hanging up his hat. He's retiring the jersey number. He's stepping away from streaming and making content. If he doesn't know how long, he says he'll likely be back at some point, but it won't be for a long time. Again, if he ever does come back. After an online career than there were assassins hunting after John Wick. And the reason I mention this is because there's recently been a rise in the frequency of large content creators expressing burnout, as well as just being completely miserable by the content creation grind, needing to take long breaks, or just outright announcing that they're quitting altogether. In fact, that's what we're talking about today. That's the subject that I want to go over because Tfue just made a very heartfelt video saying goodbye to his audience, talking about...
I mean, playing video games and playing Fortnite all day, every day, I'm pretty sure that shit would get annoying very fucking fast. Like, and the man has enough money to go do whatever the fuck he wants to do. I mean, come on now.
About how all the decade-plus long grind he's been embarked on has kind of made him feel like his life is slipped away from him. He doesn't regret any of his choices, but he recognized that he spent the majority of his life just behind a computer screen and wants to really finally feel free to live the life that he feels will be the happiest for him. So he made this video, which is kind of like the ending credits to like a franchise finale, where it just goes over the, you know, best of moments throughout his life online. And he says that he's kind of just hanging up his hat. He's retiring the jersey number. He's stepping away from streaming and making content. If he doesn't know how long, he says he'll likely be back at some point, but it won't be for a long time. Again, if he ever does come back at all. And this isn't the first big content creator.
Fortnite is boring as shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to play that shit back in the day with the boys, and when it first came out, me, my good friends, we used to play that shit every fucking day. Every night, every afternoon, whenever we didn't have nothing to do, we played Fortnite. I went over to his house, we'd hook up our PlayStations, play Fortnite. That shit got annoying and boring really fucking fast. Or not really fast. It only got boring when everybody stopped playing. When everybody stopped playing, it just started getting boring because you can't play that shit by yourself. And even when you play with people, it's like, it's whatever.
To say something like this, and just within the last week, PewDiePie also recently made
blowing up a $1 fucking.
He's got his baby. Like, there are a lot of examples of this over the last year alone of huge content creators about how he finally feels free from the content grind now that he lives in Japan. He's got his baby. Like, there are a lot of examples of this over the last year alone of huge content creators that are just kind of ready to move on from making content online. And I wanted to go over why. Because again, this is a dream job for so many people. And this is something I've always said, and I'll once again scream it from the mountaintops here. Being a YouTuber or a streamer is the luckiest position you can ever have. And in most cases is legitimately easier than 9-to-5 jobs outside of the internet or other positions that exist outside of the internet. When you are an online creator, for the most part, you get to choose your own hours. It's very flexible on what content you're making or what you really want your online footprint to be. You are in control for the most part, which is a luxury most people, 99% of people in the world, don't get to experience. So how could there even come a time where someone's just like really tired of it or made miserable by it? And I kind of just want to look at that. Because it's not like these creators are geriatric now. It's not like they spent 40 years in the industry and they're just finally...
And I got 2 jobs, so what's the point of playing Fortnite all day?
Here. Like, these are still young people. Tfue's 25 years old. He has been online for over a decade, though. PewDiePie is in his early 30s, and he's been online for over a decade as well. So they have been in the industries for, I mean, pretty much since the infancy of this whole space. But they're not, like, super old. So how does it get to the point where they're just really that done with it at such a young age? That's what I kind of want to explore here. So, in Tfue's video, it's a very honest and open look at what his content creation journey felt like, where he was streaming all the time, making videos all the time,
and he felt trapped by it. Now, he does mention something that many people aren't going to sympathize too hard with, and I understand why. He mentions that having to stream 6 to 8 hours a day every day was brutal and draining. And a lot of people will recognize that that's kind of just normal 9 to 5 job hours. Like, that's less than 9 to 5 job hours, and most people don't have a job that they love, or a job that's fun, like playing video games, and they're certainly not making millions of dollars playing video games for the 6 to 8 hour period, right? So it's something that a lot of people kind of roll their eyes at, and I do get it, because, again, it is a dream position. However, it doesn't, like, nullify his feelings on it, being forced to play basically 1 or 2 games, or basically just one type of game forever, otherwise viewers drop off, being forced to never really take a break because then you lose so many subs. Like, it is still a draining thing for sure in a different way. You kind of become a prisoner of consistency, or else you
G's my age, G's my age, G's my age, please, what?
To feel forced to do shit you don't want to do for a long period of time, which I'm sure a lot of people in the normal working world can also relate to. Let me give you a quick example. I stream daily, and I've streamed daily for the last 6 or so years. However, 2 months ago, I had to take 4 days off. Well, it's not like I had to take it. It wasn't like a fucking government-mandated vacation or anything. I usually will only take, like, maybe 1 day a month if something came up and it was too late to stream. So very rarely will you see me not online for 4 days in a row. That's apocalyptic vacation time for Charles there. That's that shit where the audience got concerned and like, damn, we might need a search and rescue team. Like, Charles might be in trouble here. This could be a message, a deeper message. So I had 4 days where I didn't stream in a row because a lot had came up and I just really wasn't able to.
Jeez.
When I did come back, I lost 8,000 subscribers. 8,000 subscribers out of the 20, I think it was 26,000 subs I had at the time, just vanished in an instant because I took 4 days off from streaming, and I still haven't gotten them back. It's not like they all just came back once I was online again. Now, this isn't some complaint or pity party here because I recognize how unbelievably lucky I am to be in the position that I am. I am one of the luckiest people in the world to be able to do what I do. So this happening wasn't...
I literally don't understand what you mean, what you're talking about.
This was something I absolutely knew was coming after 4 days off because I'd seen it happen to so many other large creators. This was one of the main motivators behind Ludwig Subathon, if I remember correctly. He took like a week-long vacation and lost like 10,000 subs and kind of...
Guess your age? I don't know, I'm 18, so...
made a quick statement
16, 17?
Where he's like, man, I lost 15,000 subscribers. And this is just something that happens. If you're not there every single night, basically, on streaming, since the online audience is always frothing at the mouth for content, they'll find other streamers elsewhere to fill that void because it's such a competitive space. Maybe they come back, maybe they don't. And maybe they do come back, but they don't have a Twitch Prime, right? Like, there's just so many things at play that do ultimately have a big impact on the person.
I just did.
Streamer, which is why you very rarely see streamers take a long vacation.
I said 16, 17.
They still stream during it because it's kind of scary not to, because even just taking 1 day off can result in a drastic decline overnight, basically. So for Tfue to talk about this, like, I understand the perspective where if he wasn't streaming every single day, and I know he had a Twitch contract, so that minimum hour guaranteed that he had to hit, which I imagine was probably like 160 or maybe 180 hours would be my guess, but I'm just speculating. If he's not doing that every single day, it's hard to make up those hours, and it's also hard to hold on to his audience and that subscriber base. So it can absolutely be a really mentally shitty thing to go through. So I understand why that would be frustrating and make him feel like, you know, he can't really set aside time to do other things that he wants to do outside of streaming. And in the video, he said something that I think is
13,
a really
I don't
interesting
know.
look at how the perspective shifts once someone reaches that level and is kind of trapped doing the same stuff. He said that in the beginning, gaming was an escape from reality, but now reality is an escape from gaming.
12.
Because it's now just become something that he is completely obligated to do and isn't finding enough joy in anymore to make it feel like he's spending his time in a good way that makes him happy. Now, he's in a very fortunate position where he has generational wealth. He has oodles of clams, millions upon millions of dollars that he can use to live his life to the absolute fullest and do the most thrilling shit imaginable if he chooses to off the internet. And I think he recognizes how lucky he is, because there's countless people that would love to just leave their 9 to 5 to be able to explore what makes them happiest, and that's fundamentally what Tfue's doing. He's just in a fortunate, lucky position that he's financially secure enough.
That's why that makes sense why you want to play Fortnite.
This video was just letting his audience know, like, guys, I really appreciate the support, but it's time to move on to the next chapter of my life, which I think is a totally respectable thing. Now, this is a question I get asked a lot, and especially more recently because
Fortnite is for very young children.
Tfue is making these announcements about very long breaks or all this burnout that they're experiencing, or just outright calling it quits. I've been getting asked if there's ever a period that I plan on stopping, you know, making videos or streaming, because I've been making shit online since 2007, so it's been a good 16 years here. I actually started in 2006, but I've told all those stories quite a bit. I'm not just gonna give you the lore dump yet again, but, you know, I'm starting to get a little gray in the face here. So is there ever a time where I just plan on calling it quits? And my answer is always a resounding no. Me making shit online is what makes me happiest. I have always been doing this shit because I have fun doing it. It's never been like an obligation for me or something I feel forced to do. I've just always done it purely for the love of it. So I couldn't imagine a time where I just hate it and like get made miserable by it and need to step away or something like that. But I always understand people who do. And I think one of the main contributing factors to that I've discussed a lot is when a creator gets kind of pigeonholed into one type of content and they feel like they can't branch out from it, it leads to them getting really made miserable by it, feeling forced to keep doing one thing forever. No one wants to do the same song and dance a million times. Eventually they want to try other things, but online, taking that step to try other things is extremely scary because it comes with a really real risk of losing a lot of your audience or making things that they won't enjoy. Or,
I mean,
you know, just driving
I'm not
them
gonna
crazy.
sit here
That's your
and
entire
not
career. That's your
cuss
livelihood.
because
You can't
you
do
decided to
things
join
that
my
you
stream.
So it's always a very difficult thing
Like,
to do, but I think it's the most rewarding thing as well. Because
like,
there's very few
if
people
it's
that
that big a deal, why aren't your
the
parents
exact
looking
same thing
at
that
your
they've been making
stuff,
for a decade.
making
It
sure
takes a
what you
very
ain't watching
strong
ain't bad?
mental to keep doing the same shit forever without wanting to try other things. But again, for a lot of creators, they feel like they need to, and I think that's what really leads to a lot of that burnout and that feeling of needing to take breaks, because the endless grind monotony of just doing it all day after day, this fucking same stale routine, gets to be draining. So I really think that a lot of the big contributing factors that make other creators burn out, I don't really have myself, because I do such an incredibly large variety of content and so much different shit. Like, literally, we just started a wrestling league, our own wrestling promotion a few months ago that we're going so hog wild with. Like, we're constantly doing new things. I'm constantly trying different types of content, doing all kinds of wild shit. So I just never really experienced that. Now, of course, I can't speak for like 40 years in the future here, but I just don't really envision a time where I'm going to stop having fun making things. So right now, I don't foresee a future where I just call it quits on creating content or anything like that. But again, with all of these other creators that are talking about this, I really do get it from their perspective on how it gets to that point, even with a job like YouTubing or streaming, a dream job. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to go over this whole topic here. I'm wishing Tfue the absolute best, and I hope whatever he decides to do now post content creation is something that makes him extremely happy. He deserves it. Everyone deserves to pursue what makes them happiest, and Tfue's in a lucky position that he gets to do that. So wishing him the best.
Since I blew up on the internet, I have had so much backlash, good and bad. Like, it's been a lot of good, but you know, you also have that percentage of bad. Like, everybody on Twitter hates me for what? I don't know. Like, I literally don't know, just because I stood up for myself, and that's fine.
It gotta be hard to be a woman sometimes, because I think, like, what's the point of working hard if instead you could just look good and get a nigga to take care of you? Because, yo, they be, like...
Percentage of bad. Like, everybody on Twitter hates me for what? I don't know. Like, I literally don't know, just because I stood up for myself, and that's fine.
It gotta be hard to be a woman sometimes, because I think, like, what's the point of working hard if instead you could just look good and get a nigga to take care of you? Because, yo, they be, like, niggas, men, I don't know, some stories out here, it's just sad.
No, it is sad.
Because it's like, you don't know this person.
Yeah,
You're
for
just
sure.
doing it because you think she looks good.
Exactly.
Which is a crazy criteria, trying to basically save her. You know what J. Cole said?
Don't save her. She don't want to be saved, man. Now, but at this time, it wasn't just the men that was trying to save her.
It was everybody.
Now, men's response to saving her was, "Hey, let me take care of you." You know what women's responses were trying to save her?
What?
Make an OnlyFans. Why not?
That's still men saving her, though. Who's subscribing to their OnlyFans?
You're not getting it. Women are taking control of themselves and their sexuality, and so they're empowering.
So women are telling her to make an OnlyFans.
That's fucking wild.
Yes.
Okay.
The Home Depot bitch should just took the clout vibe, started a business or something. Now she finna be lame as hell and self-righteous.
Doctor's degree matters. Most men will be happy with a woman like this that works at Home Depot as long as she fits in and she's fitting for him.
Isn't it crazy that a woman taking a selfie
can just
spark these type of conversations up. I don't know. She sparked the conversation. Now all of a sudden it's, what do you do with your doctors and your masters? She posted a conversation and it's like, all she gotta do is be fit and friendly. She posted a photo and it's like, women and men were having this dialogue, which I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all men are weird. Just, you know, enjoy what you see and you think that she looks attractive and you keep it moving. That's it. She looks great. She looks amazing. And you keep it moving.
Immaculate. Fucking immaculate. That's true.
People that assume the most negative shit for me, like modern women just with their masters and
Here's another. Black man economy insecurity absolutely dominates our dating, mating, family discourse. Can't move beyond it. Been trying to shame and suppress black women advancements for decades.
Okay, I'm sorry, but y'all not about to convince me you're happy going to Home Depot to make 15 an hour. Y'all complain about these jobs all day, but the minute you gotta be compared to an OnlyFans model, now you're the happiest Home Depot worker in America. Please spare us.
So this no, but this now you're getting to the women's side of it. Women got upset. They were like, "Why have you so long? You too good? You above that? You're not gonna do this? Huh? What's wrong with you? There's no way you're gonna tell me you're gonna be happy at Home Depot. Men sexualizing you anyway. So you might as well just take off your fucking clothes and go on OnlyFans and make more money.
Well, the average Home Depot worker makes more than the average OnlyFans person. So,
but she's gonna have a leap. I mean, look at her. She's gorgeous, right? Yeah. Men have already started sexualizing her. So you're not gonna tell me that you're happier doing that and you could be making more money on OnlyFans. Get fucking butt naked right now and make OnlyFans. So it's bitch should have just took the clout and followed. This is a woman thing. This Home Depot bitch should have just took the clout and vibe now and started making a business or something. Now she finna be lame as hell and say self-righteous things that going to make everybody hate her within a week.
you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of me and drinking. When I tell people I don't drink, I really don't give a fuck if you drink. I couldn't care less. Do it, don't do it. It doesn't matter to me because I'm not the one doing it. But like sometimes when I say it, I can tell people think that I think I'm better, and it's not. I really don't give a fuck. You can do crystal meth vodka. I don't care, nigga. It's not my life. It's your life you're making decisions for. But like anytime I tell people that, they kind of like. So I just stop saying it to people. I just say I don't want to drink right now, and they go, at least he's one of us. That's what they want to feel like sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you're one of them. So like.
But if you say no, like, why say no, nigga?
Like,
what's
what do you mean you don't drink? Either that or they'll say like,
you're boring.
Or sometimes if it's a woman, sometimes they'll say that. But in general, they'll say like, oh my god, good for you. I'm so proud of you.
What's wrong with you?
So she good though. She has to want to do OnlyFans, otherwise
she has to, or at least entertain it. But don't get on this self-righteousness path now. But she's not done. Not to mention, most of the attention she's getting is from these men who just want to get sex workers' attention and get a rise out of them. In real life, them same niggas would play with her and pay her dust. This internet shit be cut up, I tell you.
Huh?
Twitter is like the place to depress deranged people to get their thoughts out.
No. This is where the real mental gymnastics started. Miss B Nasty, she's a porn star. Omar got into a beef with her, crazy, right? Home Depot girl accepting tips on the job from older men for just talking to them. Who's gonna tell her? LMAO, I cannot make this stuff up. She's comparing it to sex work.
So she's comparing tipping to sex work?
Yes. Babe, that's a form of sex work, LMAO, called Findom. So now she's just trying to like explain to her like you're already into sex work, so you might as well.
You're already one of us.
You're already one of us.
Stop denying it.
Stop denying. Don't sit here and say no. Stop. She can do what she wants and it doesn't negate from her beauty. I just don't think that she knows what that sex work is a blanketed term for everything from financial domination to prostitution, full sex work, and everything else in between. Not just OF/porn. So no.
Let's clarify. If I work at Starbucks and somebody thinks I look good, and that is the driving reason for their tip,
yes,
I'm a sex worker now.
That's what she said.
Is she fucking slow?
If you are,
she fucking slow.
Hooters, that's one thing.
Even then, it's a stretch. That's a stretch.
You're in the gray area at Hooters, but
if I'm just a waitress and I get extra tips because I look good, that is not them.
That makes model sex workers too. That makes anybody where their beauty plays a role in their job, sex workers.
Not even in their job. If it's just a part, because Home Depot beauty isn't part of her job. It's just that she benefits from.
That means it doesn't matter where she works.
It doesn't matter. Exactly. That's how fucking stupid this is.
I'm gonna get off after this stream.
That's wrong. Nobody doesn't care. Stop trying to make everybody a sex worker. But she has a response to everything. Let's figure out what happened once she got all this conjure. Also, this like her original post, like 100,000 likes. It was up to her.
I just wanted to come on here, as y'all probably know me as the Home Depot girl who went viral, and just talk about how God really testing my life right now and just testing my faith and trying to keep my patience in him and just trust that there's a bigger thing coming out of all this. Since I blew up on the internet, I have had so much backlash, good and bad. Like, it's been a lot of good, but you know, you also have that percentage of bad. Like, everybody on Twitter hates me for what? I don't know. Like, I literally don't know, just because I stood up for myself, and that's fine. And then Instagram's really cool, and then, you know, other situations that have happened throughout this whole process that have just kind of been crazy. But I literally had to kind of quit my job in this process because doxing my address and also figuring out where I worked because, you know, I did have my school in my bio, also my location on Twitter, and Home Depot. So if you put math together, like, people start figuring stuff out. So now I'm gonna have to probably move and just, you know, kind of relocate and start fresh. And I just feel.
And it's just, I guess some people already realize a while ago I'm late to the party. Like, remember 10 years ago when, like, people, not to make this political at all, but, like, it's interesting that there's certain parts, let's just be vague for the purposes. The people that want acceptance and tolerance are the least tolerant niggas on the planet. Yo, bro, all she did was post a selfie of herself at work. She happened to look good, and the men sit there talking about finances and shit, and the women are talking about sex work, and in the process, her life is just, like, torpedoed because she decided to post a selfie, and she did nothing wrong in the process. That's nuts to me.
And then as soon as the men are sitting there saying, I don't understand how that could, like, nigga, if she posted a picture and all made it about what you want in a woman and what men want in a woman when they're dating them, you don't know her, bro. Just like FYI, you don't know her. She just works at Home Depot. You don't know if she's friendly. You don't know who she is as a person. You don't know her. But y'all made it into a talking point for the men's perspective. And women, as soon as she said, I'm not really interested in OF, that's not what I do, that's not part of my faith and my beliefs, y'all made it seem as if, like, because she takes tips, then all of a sudden that's a problem as well.
You know what?
Like,
That makes me feel like?
Jesus.
That makes me feel like a fool for being tolerant. Because it's like, you're not willing to tolerate me at all. You just want the treatment that you're never willing to give out. Yo, bro, it doesn't even matter what her faith is. That's her faith. What, you gonna fight her on it because you want her to be a sex worker? That's the most dumb. You know, I said it like a couple years ago too. Like, I'd be so nervous if I had a daughter because, like, if she looked good by whatever society standard is at the time, this is the pressure she's dealing with. Like, everyone in life is gonna tell her to take what's described as this shortcut of just using your body to monetize, and instead she's preferring to use her skills, whatever it is. And it might be a longer route. Maybe she has to work at Home Depot to save up funds or whatever it is. Everybody on the internet is so mad at her for not doing it their way, and she's just choosing her own path. This is fascinating to me that people feel this type of ownership over someone they have no clue about. It's like y'all are just using her as, like, an entity, and you don't give a fuck really what happens to her. And who knows? Maybe there were, like, men. I think you said something about Shaq. I haven't seen that video.
Yeah, Shaq popped up.
Yeah, like, I get, like, it's fun for everybody, but in my head, it's sad to know that she really didn't do nothing wrong, but she was the one that got fucked at.
I feel like I just am grateful to God because this opportunity gives me a chance to start over. I also gained a platform, and that means a lot to me because I work really hard making, you know, my faith, lifestyle, beauty, and fashion content. So this kind of helps me go towards that direction. But it's also scary because I actually haven't received, like, any type of brand deals or anything like that. A lot of people think that, like, my net worth is going to flip now because of fame. That's not how it works. It just kind of, it's unmotivating, but I have faith that God is going to make all of this work out in my favor. So yeah, some doors had to close, but I also know God is going to make a lot of doors open in my favor. So I'm just taking it with the wins, taking the punches, you know, smiling through all this, praying, and just knowing that God has me. No, in due time, when the answers and what is for me needs to be revealed, it'll be revealed. I know God is.
They hated that.
I know they
hated that God. They ain't like that.
Let it go. You got faith.
Who's that?
Faith based? And that's what all this religious talk and think you're above us now. Take your fucking pants off. You might as well. You getting tips for it anyway, so you might as well just go all the way. You might as well. You're not better than us. That is odd. That's very much so odd, and it's from obviously from men. Like, it's weird because, again, y'all don't know this woman. She just looks good. They decided to just map out this ideal woman because of the way she looks. But women are even weirder, where y'all want us to be accepting of these things and have some form of autonomy. Everybody's not going to agree with your decision, but at least give other women. Y'all want us to give women the ability to make their own decision, but as soon as their decision may not align with what the other women want to say, then all of a sudden it's like that don't make no sense to me. That makes absolutely no sense. It's not like she's sitting here telling y'all that y'all can't do it, and now all of a sudden because she decides not to do it because of essentially religious beliefs, now all of a sudden she's a bad person.
You would have thought she said, like, oh, that's beneath me. I think people who do that are nasty, disgusting scum of the earth. You would think she said some vile, like, ruthless shit, some shit like that. She just said, I don't want to do that. And it was like, bro, this is bad. Twitter is like, everybody agrees. It's like degenerate land. It's not even real people.
I ain't gonna lie. These conversations, these combos are not being had in real life. My favorite therapist back then, the black therapist, the black woman who was a black man, and she was saying that we don't know when we're
All right. I'm headed out. I'm gonna lay down and probably chill. Excuse me. But peace out. I'm out. I'll stream probably another time whenever I feel like it, honestly.